and use quadratic formula on 12 and 13. It's not your best idea, but you could do it. So they can be very, very easy, like question 8. If I wanted to get x by itself, what would you do? Square root both sides. You'll be shocked by how many people would only get half credit on this question on the test. Why? Plus or minus. You forget half of your answers, that's a very stupid place to lose points. I know they say there's no stupid questions. Well, missing that one, you'd be shocked how many people would. 9. Before I square root, what do I have to get rid of? The 3. So here we're going to get a little simplifying square roots practice. I get the x squared is equal to 27, and when I square root both sides, does 27 square root nicely? No, so we have to think about what goes into 27 that does square root. 9. So 9 and 3. What do I take out front? 3 with it. What sign? Plus or minus. What stays inside? 3. Any issues with that? I'm going through the easy ones fast because they're not that difficult. If I want to get x by itself in 10, what do I do? Add 1. Then what? Divide by 4. This is when not having a calculator would benefit you, because a lot of you would try to divide that in your calculator and get a decimal. That makes life harder. If I have to square root this, it's better to square root the fraction, because what can I do? Top and bottom separately. What is the square root of 1? 1. What is the square root of 4? 2. Okay, that's it. Not x squared, excuse me, just x. We solved that. Yes, ma'am? Nope. You may write out plus or minus 1/2. If you choose to write it separately, I'm perfectly fine with that as well. As long as both answers are accounted for, I'm happy. All right, 11, what do I get rid of first? Okay, so we add 3 to both sides. Then what? Multiply by 15, which is going to give me m squared is equal to what? 75. Then what do we do? Square root both sides. What goes into 75 that we can square root nicely? 25. So my final answer will look like, starting with what? Plus or minus 5 root 3. Good. I throw 12 and 13 in there because a lot of people forget that these can be solved using square roots as well. Anytime you have parentheses squared, they simplify using square roots. It's just like trying to get x by itself. You just have to get rid of the squared around the parentheses first. So, if I wanted to solve 12, where would I start? And it's not FOIL. Okay, square root. You could, like I said, if you were given this question on test, you could FOIL that out, use quadratic formula, blah, 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 blah. You're going to give yourself twice as much work. I will just tell you that up front. So that, if you square root that, that cancels out the squared. If I square root 49, what do I get? Plus or minus 7. Again, if you forget that, that's where you go wrong on that one. Then I still just have to solve for y. So what do I have to do?
Good morning, PCA faculty.
So if you subtract 3 from both sides, and then divide everything by 2. In this case, could we actually finish this out and get 2 answers? Yes. We can do negative 3 plus 7, which will give me what? Negative 3 plus 7? 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. Negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10 divided by 2 gives me negative 5. So if you can finish it out into 2 nice answers, please do. All right, 2 parts to your homework today. First, on page 99, I'll just write the page numbers down here instead of trying to flip to it myself. Page 99, we're just doing questions 1 through 10, which you're solving using square roots. And then the other part flips back to page 84. We're doing 10 through 18. Yep, all for both of them. The first one is solving by completing the squares. Second one is solving, first one solving by square roots. Second one is solving by completing the square.